All right, what's going on, beautiful people? It's the North Shore 9 Spring Training Daily Wrap-Up. I am Tyler. With me is my guy, Douglas Freshwater, surrounded by salt water. We're here in Bradenton. The Pirates just dropped this one 2-1. Me and Dougie live.
I'm thrilled to be here. As you know, I live in Jacksonville, and DiNardo told me the town wasn't big enough for the both of us, and I had to get out of town. So I got to come down here, and thankfully the Pirates were here. It's sunny, beautiful. It's a little windy, but we get to see Pirates play baseball. I expected a little more offense today with the way the wind was blowing out, but we didn't get that. But we still some positive things to see.
We did, and you mentioned the offense there. A little bit of a pitching duel today. But before we get into that, let me tell you guys about our sponsor. Our sponsor today is BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA to college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every day, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. The game started today, Doug, with Jared Jones, a guy that we were excited to see. We talked about him in our pregame show. I mentioned in the pregame show that I wanted to see Jared Jones maybe not so much empty the tank today. I didn't need to personally see 100 miles an hour like we did last year. I didn't need to see him throw gas today. He did throw gas, though. Just maybe not at the level that he did last year, which I am completely okay with personally. What do you think about Jared Jones' start today?
Well, Tyler, we're pinning a lot of hopes on this rotation, and Jared Jones is a key part of that. Last year, he didn't finish great. He got hurt, then it was some mixed results. So what you want to see in a game that doesn't matter as far as the results is that he looked good. And he looked great. He was throwing strikes. He had good velocity. He had good movement. That's exactly what you want, right? We're not going to, put him up as the favorite for Cy Young after something like this. It's the third spring training game of the year. But you saw exactly as most as you could hope for. That's what we got. And so, again, he did everything we could ask for from him and looked good doing it.
He did. We saw him sitting around 97 today. He also did mix in that fifth pitch that we've heard so much about this offseason. The two-seamer was sitting about 94.6, I think, today. He threw 5 of them, according to Noah Hiles. He seemed to feel really good about where the two-seamer was.
Yeah, and I feel really good about what I've seen from it, so he should. It looked good. He's using a new pitch. That's what spring training is for. He's taking advantage of the time, the opportunity to improve his repertoire. And look, the kid's got an immense amount of confidence. You can see it. You can see it when he's on the mound. You can see it when he's walking back across here. It's like, he believes in himself. And, we're all becoming believers too.
Yeah. Great start today from Jared Jones. Now, the Pirates did get on the board here early. They scored their only run of the game on Joey Bart putting the ball in play, essentially.
Right.
And in all reality, that's the only offense the Pirates got. They did get a little bit more action here later in the game, but Joey Bart does drive in a run today.
Well, it was nice. I mean, again, we're really hoping that he can replicate what he did last year, and we're not sure that that's going to happen. So if he's producing runs, it's great. Reynolds hit the double. We got singles from Cruz and Bryan Hayes. They had both stole bases. I really think Cruz is going to run a lot this year. Cruz got thrown out trying to steal third, but I like it. I like the fact that he's going to run. We talk about this all the time. The Pirates, Derek Shelton every spring says the Pirates are going to run more, and then we run for a day or two and we stop. So it's great to see Bryan Hayes. Again, what we want to see from Bryan Hayes is that he's healthy. Right. 2 hits today, a stolen base, fielded the position flawlessly like we always expect. Mm-hmm. So, again, it's spring training. You can't take these statistics or performances to the bank, but he looks healthy. And that's what we want to see from Bryan Hayes. We know he can play. We saw what he did at the end of 23, and he looks healthy. And that's the most important thing we can see from him in spring.
And I think you brought up a really good point there with both of them having stolen bases today. Last year when we were here, Oneil Cruz stole a base, and I think me, Jim, and DiNardo all said that's a really good sign. I think we're thinking something very similar with Bryan Hayes this year with the back issues we've seen this offseason. We're seeing him put the ball in play, and we're seeing him find some gaps here. It might not be what we ultimately hope for to see out of Bryan Hayes, but we see him steal a bag. To me, that makes me think this guy might actually feel good right now.
That's exactly it, right? Now, he has stolen, I think, 20 bases in his season before. The kid can run. But right, it's a second spring training game, and he's stealing bases. That nothing tells me he's feeling healthy more than that, right? That's like, why would, if you're not feeling good, if your back's acting up, why in the world would you steal a game in steal a base in a meaningless spring training game?
If you're stealing a bag on February 25th, that means I think you feel pretty good right now.
Exactly.
And then let's move on to the next pitcher here. We had Thomas Harrington, one of the Pirates' top pitching prospects. He comes in. Thomas Harrington, early on, the first two hitters, gets ahead of them early. He puts the first hitter away with a nice slider. Puts the next hitter away, I believe, with a ground out. I could be wrong on that one. He gets to Eli White. Eli White gives him a battle there, and 8 or 9 pitch at bat. What did we think about Thomas Harrington tonight?
Harrington looked good. Exactly as advertised. He's not throwing 99. He's throwing 95. That used to be considered a really good thing. So, and he's got great control. It looks like he knows how to pitch. He's got a feel for pitching. Those first two at bats, again, yeah, he got into a pitch battle. He ran up his pitch count a little bit. I think he threw 26 pitches in that inning. He did not give up a run. He didn't cave in after the long at bat and the guy gets a single. He just went and got the next guy. So again, it's a spring training performance that you can feel pretty good about.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about him today. The only thing I would say is that he didn't seem to have a good feel for the slider today. He did get a strikeout with it. Later on, we saw him hang it a little bit, and that got him into a touch of trouble. But all things considered, it's February 25th. Right. If you don't have feel of your breaking pitches, join the club.
Right. It's early. Exactly. He'll tune that up as the spring training goes along. But he is definitely an interesting guy. I'm curious about seeing him. I'd be fascinated. One of the most fascinating things about this team this year is how they're going to use these young pitchers. Are they going to put them in the bullpen? Are they going to come up for spot starts? When do they come up? So Harrington's, right at the top of that list, along with Bubba Burrows and Ashcraft too. I can hardly wait to see how it turns out.
Yeah, and other guys we were really excited to see today. We had both David Bednar and Colin Holderman get into the game today. Both, I think we saw a little bit of shakiness out of them. But stuff-wise, I was relatively comfortable with at least where David Bednar was. Holderman, it's early. We're going to let it play out.
Right.
Today, he struggled.
Yeah. I mean, he scuffled. It's his first spring training appearance. I don't think it's anything to be worried about. It looked like he still his stuff. Mm-hmm. Bednar looked a little thinner. Looked healthy, and still looked like he was the man on the mound. I mean, again, first spring training outings. What? Yeah,
and really, when you talk about Bednar, really, he just got in trouble very, very early. It might have been his first or second pitch of his outing, but he just has a fastball middle.
Yeah,
but he was able to work relatively through it.
Yeah,
velocity was there. We saw the splitter look all right tonight. Or today, I guess I should say. I guess I'm just so used to saying tonight from our post-game shows.
Right.
But yeah, Bednar, I mean, we saw the velocity there. Really, you just need to see him build on that. Continue to look healthy. Continue to see the stuff play out. That's where we're at with both of those guys, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was nothing that happened in this game that gave me, oh, gosh, I'm concerned. Right. This doesn't look good, right? They both look fine. They're both really good pitchers. They scuffled last year in August, and that really derailed the season. But I feel both of them are going to bounce back, and I think we're going to have a pretty effective bullpen. And some of the other guys look good today, right? Tanner Rainey gives up a single and then strikes out the next 3 batters.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Tanner Rainey. He had an awesome performance tonight. Good Lord, I keep saying tonight here, my friend.
Perhaps this afternoon.
Or this afternoon. He did have a very good performance today. DiNardo touched on him a touch, double touch. DiNardo talked about him a little bit down there earlier, Tanner Rainey. He's always been intrigued with him. Tanner Rainey had a very good performance. He's probably going to be a guy that you see at some point this season. Right. Guys get injured. Things happen. Tanner Rainey might be a guy that he could surprise some people just based on what we saw today.
Right.
We're not going to get too negative, but we'll get super positive about some guys.
Yeah, I mean, right. We're we'll break camp with 13 pitchers, that sort of thing. Those won't be the only 13 pitchers we see this year, right? We're going to run through 30 of them. I expect to see Tanner Rainey, and if he looks anything like he did today, I'll be happy to see Tanner Rainey.
Yeah. So today we had the 2 runs given up by the 2 guys that you can pencil into the road or in the bullpen this year.
Most likely your 8th, 9th inning guys.
Right. So that does happen, but hey, if it's going to happen with anyone, I think I am more weirdly confident with it happening with them because I still feel like they're going to be okay. The rest of the guys having good days today, that's very encouraging, I feel like.
Right.
And we're going to build on it as this goes along.
Yeah, like I said, there was nothing that happened in this game that would give you pause for concern, any kind of things to worry about. Spring training baseball, again, we stipulate, nothing happened today that will mean anything a couple weeks down the road. But I'm happy to see, again, some of the pitchers look really good. Bryan Hayes looks healthy. Bednar looks healthy. Jared Jones looks healthy. So, again,
just make it another month.
Yeah, what can you ask for on February 25th?
Exactly. All right, beautiful people, we're going to get out of here. This was the North Shore 9 Spring Training Daily Wrap-Up. We'll be back with you tomorrow for another pregame show, and then we'll be with you again for another Daily Wrap-Up. And I believe we have North Shore 9 live tomorrow evening as well. So stick with us. We got a lot of stuff coming your way, but we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Tyler. That's Doug. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
See you guys later.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.